originally I thought that this was pretty much played out. The basic idea of the Kitroi, the culture, the Bekitroi, the idea of the male and the female Yisodas, we had that idea from the beginning. So I thought that was pretty much played out, but it looks like it's maybe not. And I think that as getting into this, let's take a look at it. So at the blurb at the top of this page, and the page is Taf Kuf Nun Ches. So the blurb at the top says Kultra Bekitroi, which is the subject that we've been talking about to a certain extent. So Sampira the odd boy. Now it seems like it was in Reb Shimon just reading it that it was like a repeat idea of male and female again, a connection Yisodos, is Bareshe, then this concept of breaking the head, and then Trin Chavul is Chazro, so Trin become one, two become one. That's because one goes back in some way, whatever that means. Al Rosha Hachaya Rikia. So this is again the concept of I think that was the concept, what we saw, of the plural use of the word Roshe instead of the word Rosh. So what we got out of that then, and let's see what the what the rabbis say. He says, "Kultra bekitroi." The Maimer Chasifra Ditzniut of the Lolo no Matzid beer bedivir Rizal. So he didn't find a Rizal. To the Kach, so this for this reason, yes, Daniel as a Beor Hamashulav, as a beer Hamashulav, excuse me, Al P. Divi Rabbi Yosef Tibble Zal. Talmud the Rizal. So since we don't have, I guess he's saying you don't have the words of the Rizal itself, but we do have Rav Yosef Tibble. Mamasha B'tzanda B'drasha Taninim, where we find over there's a drush on the snakes. Shalom, that is his drush. I move with the Sefer Galach Mikta, the O, and there's different places, and I'm continuing on. He said, Behinach of Veloshin is Galia. So when we say that it's revealed, cultural Bekitroi. So what was the idea is Galia there? So he said, Beer Retival, as he says like this. Sheniskalo Orcha Chasada Besod the Yichud. So what the question is what gets revealed? I mean, Yichud is something private. But he says what's revealed here is the existence of this Orcha Chesed. The Fiyizecha Bi'ardacha the Inyan Kultra, Haina Orcha Chesed, and that's what we had said. The Inyan Kitroi, Hainacha Bekeshacha Yichud, that is the binding that actually takes place at the time of Yichud. The Rebbe Ha'aras, the beer Hamashula, so that we will see some Ha'aras, and then Sharach, the people Milos, Sham, over there. Now we're going to bring some different ways of looking at that. So up until this time, I'm not relating that well to the thinking of the Ramak. So let's see what he says. He says, "Bir Yaakov the Ramak." He said, "But bir kan the fidarko. Ba'irei kan bihishtalshus bihispashtus madregus the kedusha bebechinas dinim the malchus." Oh, the malachim bebechinas matat. Now these two ideas, I'm not sure I'm ready for it. Let me see. What's matat got to do with this? He says, "Madrega the kedusha bebechinas dinim." So the different dregas of what the iri of the development of the spread of dinim and kedusha. So he says this also has to do with the concept of malachim. Those malachim, the malachim are olam yitzira, because that's the world of matat. So what that means, those malachim. So the spread of it. So then you bring in this phrase. So this means the development outwards, I guess. I'm thinking in our direction, downwards. The Ketzer Bebira Mamila concept is not, let me give you a short version. He says this is the way that he said it. Inyan Kultra who Yachas Machanos Kadoshim is bringing these Machanos Kadoshim. Benoidiki Heim Medregos Rabos Yashtalshalos Bezu Bezu. So there are multiple Medregos here. They developed out one from the next. Behind the Omno culture Bekitroid. And that's when he said culture Bekitroid. What does that mean? So this is the concept there of the developing out of the dinim and kadoshim. So we say what dinim and kadoshim. I'm not sure exactly what we want to do with those dinim and kadoshim, but he's saying that this is a development out like that. Ad kan ein shav the chayvet kavana of the kultra. What's the concept of shakultra? Who lashon klita the keyboards gathering together, joining together. The kitroi who lashon kasher. So that's the verb maybe or kanait. V'nimseki kultra bekitroi. Chayu hebrew kasher bekitroi machnos bedregas to kedusha. Amishtalshlim mizun. It sounds like to me that there would be a lot more that I might want to hear from that. But that's what we got. Number bet says, Parish Ri Saruk. Now we go to Ri Saruk. Azil Khan the Fidarko Hano. The Iri Khan ben Nachash the Klipa Ein Sham. Okay, we're starting number base. So now we're at the Ri Saruk. Azil Khan the Fidarko. The Iri Khan ben Nachash the Klipa Ein Sham. So he's on the negative side. So we just had the remark, which I thought previously the remark was always on the negative side, and the Ri Saruk was on the positive side. Now he comes over here. He's also Khan B'Lefi Darko, the Iri Khan B'Nachash the Klipa. Now he says more things. Is Galia culture Bekitroid? Man, this is really crazy. Okay. So he said, is Galia culture Bekitroid? Kultra, what's kultra? So there is a kli inside of the chivya. Hakodev atipim shel shviras kalim shel kedusha. Now let's this language here, because it's not talking about a regular snake. So he says that there is a kli inside of the hivya, the one that we're talking about now, which is a hivya represents uh, the nachash, the klipa. So this kli, hakli sheyesh b'chivya b'nachash, hakolet the tipim, which gathers together within it the tipim that are found shall shviras akalim shall kedusha. So at the time of the shvira, there was this concept, whatever it is, which refers to the klipas, the nachash of klipa, who gathers in the tipim the kedusha. Because what is the kli? The kli is the power of dinim. Now he's saying that a kli that is dinim are like a kli, which means that they hold something. They're holders. So I never thought of that in that way. He said, kli hadinim shaba is the power of the dinim that are in it. The Sarah elokims. So there's also the concept of 10 elokims. Kol echad mechem yesh lo kuf kof tzirufim, and each one of the elokims has 120 combinations that you can make out of their letters. So Odin Bebena Kol Elef Umosayim, and then it comes out to be 1,200 Communion Kashkashas. Now, this is going off in a direction that really needs a lot of help. So because you did have the phrase Sanpira Ba'ad boy, and this is kind of Sanpira and Kashkeshes go together. So just trying to piece it in my mind. So going on, and he says, so it comes out to be that if you take all of those elokims and you take the combinations that come from them, you get to the number 1200. This word, this number 1200 corresponds to the concept of kashkeshes, which okay, v'chakavana b'zeh. So now, what was he trying to tell me here? So he said the kavana b'decha shalatipe shel kedusha shahachibia koleta b'socha, that the klibia gathers it into himself or herself. Hema kashkashim shalom, they are in fact her kashkashim. That is her combinations of elokims. Elokim is lashon din. So here you have dinim. He's talking about dinim, the dinim that make up, I don't know, the kli of this are made out of, or I'm not sure if that was the right way to translate that, about whether the dinim are the kli or the dinim are make the kli. I'm not sure. So here he said, let me see, he says, Shalatipim, Shal Kedusha, Shalchibia Koletha Besocha, that she's able to take within herself, Hey Makash Kashim Shalah, these are this 1200. Was it 1200? Once again, it's 10 times 120, which are the combinations of the letters of Elokim, combination of permutations that could be done 120 times. Kikamocha kashkashem shebadav kol echad ve'echad bechem yesh lo kasher b'fnei atzma. So he says, let's look at these scales. Yeah, my voice is still not strong. He said, "V'chen yesh kesher b'fnei atzmo." And they're not just like one scale. Kach kol. Now here we're dealing with the concept of permutations of the letters of a name, like in the Sifra Yetzirah, that kind of stuff. Exactly how it develops, or whether, but he means to say that Elokim. Let me see if I could just speak softer. He said, so he says that Elokim is these multiple combinations of letters, and they're like scales in that they're not like one scale. Kach kol os v'os min eluch hasara elokim. So therefore, every single letter of these 10 elokims, shena'asim bechem hakli hakoletes ka'amor, and he's saying, I like to say this out. Let me just get a drink or something. Try that. So he said that each one of the scales, which is like each one of the letters, Kako os os min edel hasara elokem. But it's hard to keep going. So he says that each one of the letters, he says, kosher v'kolet tipa achas shalakadusha shashviris akalim v'kishreim shal hachili. Well, okay, one more thing I'm going to try. Learn to speak softer. Okay, I'm sorry. What can I do? So he wants to say that this is the concept of how each one of these letters of the elokims affects a tipa of kedusha after the shvira, and it all is tied into the stomach of the or this clay of the snake. Kamucha bekosher v'kolet tipa achas shel kedusha shel shviras hakelim bekishrov shel achivya, with the ability that the kishrov is once again this this kli behind the ka'ama bekitroi kolomer bekishrov shel kashkashim adkan. I better stop here because my voice is just. Thank you, Culture.